Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Sports Dad. In this particular segment, I want to talk about injuries. That's right, injuries. I want to talk about injuries and how to avoid them and what to do when you get them. All right, let's go. Before we jump right into it, you already know the deal. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and also too make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be updated once we send out the new content. Okay, so injuries, right? You're probably thinking, well, how does that affect my recruiting? Well, it does. Definitely particular injuries, and depending upon what injury that you have, it can definitely affect your recruiting. So I've seen it all. I've seen injuries such as torn labrums, broken clavicle, right? Meniscus tears, and which are mostly common injuries those are the most of the common injuries that you would probably see during a sports season, whether it be football or basketball or what have you, right? So what to do in those particular instances, and why does it actually affect your recruiting? Because, unfortunately, in some instances, injuries can debilitate you and keep you from being the person that you once were. Right? If you don't do things the right way. And so colleges look at that, and they look at what type of injury and how bad the injury is in those particular situations. And they can also decrease your offer or take their offer off of the table. So because they don't think that you're going to recover from that particular injury. So what to do, how to avoid them though, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how to avoid the injury. So, and I'm going to go out here on the limb. I'm not a doctor. Trust me, I'm not a doctor, but I have had my fair share of experiences with injuries of myself and with my own children. With myself, I torn meniscus in both of my knees with a little bit of ACL damage, right? So one of the ways that you could really decrease the chances of getting an injury is body preservation, right? Preserving yourselves, right? And that's a hard thing to do, especially for young athletes. When they want to work out, when they want to go outside and, and mess around with the, basketball or, go play some footballs, or whatever. The thing is that you have to keep that in mind, body preservation, and preserve yourself so that you won't have any accidents and things like that, because a lot of times accidents do happen when you actually going out to play or just going out to, get some run in or whatnot. And how many times have we heard that at the collegiate level and at the we also heard that at the professional level. So body preservation, you got to keep that in mind. Injuries, unfortunately, is a part of the game, right? It's a part of the game. You can't avoid it, right? But one thing that you can do is you can decrease it, right? Body preservation. Body preservation meaning that you can't always do what your other friends are doing, especially if you're taking this seriously, right? You can't always want to go outside and play on concrete. Concrete is very bad on your knees. And so if you want to preserve your knees, then you will probably want to decrease, interaction, with the concrete. Or, not saying that you don't go out there at all, but if you want to go out there and just, lightly do things, that's fine. But don't try to make a living out there playing super duper serious out there on concrete. It's not worth it, right? Because it's definitely hard on your ligaments and hard on your joints. And that's my personal experience. If I can do it all over again, I probably wouldn't have played on concrete as much growing up. Another thing is that making sure that you're keeping track of the things that you're putting into your body. A lot of times, like we like to eat a lot of junk and things like that, but that can affect how your muscles and everything recover, right? And so at the end of the day, if you're not wise, in doing the right things and putting the right fuel into your body, it can definitely causes your injury to be worse than what it is, because now your body's not recovering because it don't have the proper nutrients and things like that it needs to heal itself, because that's how the body is designed. So you gotta make sure that you're eating a balanced meals with your mostly with your vegetables that have all of your antioxidants and all that stuff in it, your vitamins and things like that. So making sure that you're putting the right things into your body, right? Stretching. Stretching goes a long way. A lot of times I've seen, and I've been guilty of it too. We are so excited to play that we don't really give stretching the proper respect that it actually deserves. But really, stretching is a key element on how you are going to actually perform in your athletic event. So proper stretching takes at least probably a good 10 to 15 minutes, at minimum, when you're actually warming up, for an athletic event, or, if you're going outside, to do something with your friends or whatever. Take the time to stretch before and take the time to stretch afterwards. Now, get this. A lot of times athletes are pulling ligaments and things like that because before their athletic event, what they're trying to do is they're trying to stretch a cold muscle. So keep in mind, in order for you to stretch properly, you have to warm those muscles up, whether it be jumping jacks or doing a light jog or whatever, to get your muscles warmed up so that you can properly stretch them out. Because if you don't, then you're going to run the chance of actually pulling something and making things worse than what they already are. Thing two, that I was thinking about too is that when you're actually lifting weights and when you're working out, make sure that you are using proper techniques, right? Proper techniques, which goes a long way. If you're not using proper techniques, then you are, opening yourself up to experience a lot of injuries as well. You can pull something, and things like that if you're not following proper technique when lifting weights, which I hear a lot of. Making sure that you're taking care of your body, right? Making sure you take care of your body, whether it be icing, taking an ice bath. I know a lot of, the schools now, the facilities, they have the ice bath. Make sure that you use that because there's a lot of benefits in that. Making sure that you're getting, massages and things like that. You have to literally treat your body. You have to respect the body because it's your body that's going to get you to where you're trying to go. And the thing is that the body is not designed to do what we put it through. It's not designed to play basketball the way that you guys do. It's not designed to take the football hits that you're putting it through. It's not designed for that. So keep that in mind. So if it's not designed for that, that means that you just can't wake up and go play, but you have to make sure that your body is in a good place, and so that's why you take the time to treat and respect the body within itself. So what do you do when you actually encounter an injury? What do you do when you encounter an injury? Well, so now that you actually in a position and now that you had the injury, now it's time to focus on doing the things that you need to do to get back to where you were. A lot of the times injuries are a lot mental than they are physical. So, but you have to make sure that you're taking the proper steps, right? You got to make sure, number one, that you're plugged in with a good doctor. And how you do that, you got to do your research, listen to referrals, ask your coach and things like that. But then, like, if you have to have a surgical procedure, you have to do everything that the doctor is telling you to do, right? Do everything that the doctor is telling you to do. Then after the surgical procedure, then you have to go through your rehab. Take your time and go through your rehab and do exactly what they're telling you to do. The exercises. A lot of times, kids make mistakes where they do the exercises at the rehab, but then they tell you the same ones that we're doing here at the office, at the physical therapy, facility, then bring it to your house and you do the same thing, right? But a lot of times when you get home, you don't do it. So you're messing yourself up. But those things are designed to get your body back to where it was. And so you have to do everything that they're telling you to do. Number one, that's the only way that you're going to get around it. Do everything that they're telling you to do. My son, he tore his labrum in his shoulder. And, after having his surgery, he literally abided by everything that they told him to do because I was making sure that he did that. And, he healed up so fast and quick. He actually could have went back and played football, because he did everything that he was supposed to do. They were so impressed with the way that his body and everything was healing from that. And so, and I think a lot of times too, the reason why his body was healing the way that it was because I think the things that he put into his body. And so, so he healed up really good, and his shoulder is it's like new. So, and once he got past the mental part, then now you're setting yourself up for success to be back where you once were. So after you had the procedure, after you had done everything that you were supposed to do, in the process, you have to start getting yourself mentally prepared, because whatever's in your mind is what it's going to be. So I am healthy. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I'm good now. You know what I mean? And so, so keep that in your mind, when going through the process of healing. And so, and that's basically it. And that's basically it. I wanted to tell you guys about that because a lot of you guys are going through injuries, and things like that. Another thing is that don't ignore, if you're having pain or whatnot and it's not going away. Sometimes bodies get sore, but then they heal up, right? Don't ignore that if it's continuous and it don't stop. Another thing is to help you prevent it, take your vitamins, right? I can probably, I could probably guess that a lot of you guys are not even taking your vitamins properly. Make sure that you're taking a daily vitamin every day. Because that stuff is designed to, once again, get those vitamins on the inside of you, your vitamin E, your vitamin A and all that stuff. It's designed to put the vitamin, to get your vitamins in you. And so to help your bone structure, to help your ligaments, to help your heart, all that stuff. So make sure that you're taking your body serious and taking those vitamins on a daily basis. All right. So, but that's all I got. So I just wanted to share that information because I know a lot of you guys are going through injuries and probably thinking, oh, it's all over or I'll never be the same. That's not true. You can actually get there, but you have to abide by the doctors and have to abide by everything that they're telling you to do and take your time getting back to that level. Don't let anybody rush you on that, but just make sure that you're taking your time. But if you do those things to decrease it, then you probably won't see, the injury as often as you would if you're not abiding by those things. Trust me, those things do matter and they do work. I've experienced it. My children experienced it. So at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you're abiding by the rules. All right? That's all I got. Take care. We'll see you. All right, that's all I got. I'll be back with more information, more videos, and more interviews. Deuces.